Have you ever wondered what the sound of a math equation is? Probably not, but for some reason I did, and that's how this project came to be. The idea started when I stumbled on an interesting video on something called polyrhythms. I had been wanting to make a music-based project, and after delving further into this rabbit hole and seeing cool connections between geometry and music, I had an idea of where I wanted to start. To begin, we're going to need to be able to generate polygons of a given size, and we can assign a note to each polygon. The dots on the corners represent the notes, and when they pass this line, the note is played. Now we can stack polygons on top of one another, and each polygon will have a different note. And here's a different arrangement. Because I'm using notes from a piano and not just percussion for these polygons, I think that each polygon can cycle through different notes for more variety. This is what that sounds like with one polygon. Now we can add a second on top. Ooh, that doesn't sound so good. Maybe it'll get better with 3. Okay, I'm not trying to make jazz here, so let's fix this dissonance. Basically, what's happening is that when you play 2 notes which are right next to each other, they don't sound too good. If we take 2 full steps, however, then we get some more consonant-sounding chords. I should also mention that I hardly know anything about music theory, so some of my explanations may be a bit lacking. I'm only working with 1 octave of notes here, so my plan is to just take the set of notes that are 2 full steps from one another, and each point on the polygon will progress through those notes and cycle back to the beginning if the number of points exceeds the total number of notes. Let's hear 2 polygons again with this modification. That sounds way better, and it's more interesting to listen to than just having 1 note assigned per polygon. Let's keep expanding. Here's a different set of polygons with new note inputs, and the same figure with the note slightly changed around, and even more polygons. Here's 1 more arrangement just for fun. Alright, these are a lot of fun to experiment with, but are they really math? Where are the equations? Algebra has its roots in geometry, and we're going to leverage this fact to create some rectangles that we can use for music. One of the most obvious examples of geometry in algebra is squaring a number. Even in the name square, a geometric figure is implied, meaning for any square, the area is the result of some number squared, and each side is the length of that number. There are slightly less obvious ties to geometry as well. Take the equation 2x equals 6. 6 is the area of a rectangle, 2 is the length of a side, and x is the unknown length of a side. We can conclude x is 3 because 2 times 3 gives an area of 6. If we take the figures produced by these equations and similarly place notes at their corners, then we can create more music by passing the figures through a line which plays the notes. And here it is with 2 separate equations. The higher notes on the y-axis play higher notes, so it's kind of like these are being played onto a keyboard. It's worth mentioning that there are more common ties with algebra when using coordinate geometry, but I don't think playing notes in that fashion would produce anything too interesting. Next, I made a script that can take multiple equation inputs and create a figure for each one, and this will help for making lengthier examples. That's a good start, but it's a little boring. How about we make the equations more complex? We can start by adding a constant into our equations. Consider the equation 2x plus 6 equals 20. 6 will be its own rectangle, and I'll arbitrarily say that the sides are the greatest common factors, so 2 and 3. We have another figure 2x, and we know the total areas of 2x and 6 equal 20. This means the remaining area of 2x must be 14, and 2 times 7 is 14, so x must be 7. This equation therefore produces 2 figures, one of lengths 2 and 7, and another of lengths 2 and 3. For the sake of variety, I decided to stack the figures on a diagonal, so there's a bit more diversity in the notes played. But uh-oh, we're having a dissonance problem here. So I'll apply the same logic as before, where the notes move in double full step or octave intervals. And with this, we can stack the figures pretty much indefinitely. As a brief interlude before getting into the last equation type, I wanted to add a few more sounds to the mix, so I revisited the polygons and mixed in some percussion, and I also added one more octave of piano notes. I thought this sounded pretty nice, so I tried out some pure percussion, and here are the results from that. The last equation type I want to be able to represent are polynomials, specifically quadratics. You may be familiar with the idea of completing the square to solve a quadratic, and as the name suggests, this is also tied to geometry. Let's take the example x squared plus 4x plus 2. We can complete the square through the following. We have the square x squared and the rectangle 4x. We can divide the rectangle 4x by 2 and move these rectangles to the side of x squared. Now there's a missing area which we know is 4 over 2 squared. For this project, we're really just interested in this figure for its dimensions, but it can further be used to find the solutions of the quadratic. With this system in place, I once again decided to stack the figures diagonally, but you can kind of visually reconstruct how they would be put together to form a square. I added in the function to repeat equations, and combining that with the new quadratics gave these results. I made one other small change where equations with subtraction now flip the rectangle on the x-axis, so it produces lower notes on the keyboard. I thought about proceeding to polynomials with x cubed terms, but the idea of creating cubes gave me a different idea that I decided to pursue with the time I had left, and I think the result is pretty cool. I started by creating a cube with corners for notes and one axis of rotation. Then I added another axis of rotation and tried adding some more figures. I suppose, unsurprisingly, the second cube wasn't really contributing anything. I realized that there were a lot of factors here that I could change. I tried adding a third axis of rotation and messed around with the speeds, but it seems the main limitation here was that the music line passed through the whole figure, whereas it should only go halfway. I followed a similar format to the polygons and added a second cube with faster rotation, and this was already much more interesting. I then added some new shapes and more total figures, and here's what resulted. I'm not totally sure if these can be considered polyrhythms or not, but the result is neat either way. I think there are lots of ways to expand this project, even if it's just adding more instruments and key signatures, so it may be something I'll revisit. Unfortunately, I can't publish this project with the notes that I'm currently using, but if people are interested in trying out their own creations, then I can see about reformatting it with some royalty-free notes. I'd also have to add in UI to make it user-friendly, so it would take a little more work before it would be accessible. Thank you all for checking out the video, and thank you to all my supporters on Patreon. Until next time.